Hello and welcome to The Curious Case of Route 19. This is a visual novel that I believe was made for the May Wolf competition, or, well, not really a competition, but you're supposed to write a story in May about, vaguely about a wolf, but you could always just make it about something else. I believe I did it last year. I read some of the stories, but yeah. This one's kind of interesting because it gives off vibes from some of the other visual novels that I read. One very specific one, actually. But yeah, you should probably know which one I'm going to be talking about, based on the contents of the story. It revolves around two characters. One is a coyote, I think, and one is a wolf, which, May Wolf, there's a wolf. And them going to the wolf's hometown, but stuff happens. Bad stuff happens. As you can probably no doubt guess from the body that is lying right here in front of us. Anywho, what else? What else can I say without really spoiling it? Actually, I really don't know what else could I say without spoiling it. I guess that's about it. I don't know how long it is. I will try to read it all in one sitting, but if not, then it'll be two sittings, and depending on how long it is, it's gonna be either two parts or just one long part. So yeah, I guess that's mostly it. The not safe for work stuff will be removed because, YouTube guidelines. But for the most part, you're gonna see everything else, so yeah. I guess without further ado, let us begin The Curious Case of Route 19. Corvus presents. The fox rots. A trail of rusty red seeps into the dry dirt as his guts spill from a hole in his stomach. His pale eyes sink into his skull, forever paralyzed in an expression of horror. I don't need to bury him. The desert is already taking him. A damn shame. He really was cute. I turn around and start my way back to the road, though part of me can still feel him behind me, watching me. San Diego, California. How the hell do you write beginnings? The beginning of a story is always the hardest part to write, because you know what's going to happen in the story, but how do you get there? I don't know. Maybe I should take some time off. But I gotta get a book written someday. Someday. It doesn't have to be today, or this month, or even this year. Just some time. Okay, good. He's home. Hey, babe. I turn around in my chair to face the wolf. Hey, honey bunches. Still glued to your desk? Hey, the story's developing. I can't really say that I've written anything yet. He walks over to the desk and I turn back around, slightly embarrassed at the mess of my notes. I try to shuffle the notes to look somewhat organized, but he's already leaning over me. I feel his soft hands on my shoulders. I feel his eyes on the mostly empty documents and avert my gaze even though he's not looking at me. Just barely on the first chapter? Hey, like I said, the story's developing. He kisses the top of my head. And then he leans further down and wraps his hands around me in a full embrace. I try to return the hug from this awkward position, reaching behind and above me to hold his arms. Missed you. It's been like 6 hours. Still in the hug, the wolf rests his head atop of mine. Working emails for 6 hours is so boring. At least you don't have to try coming up with beginnings. I feel him look back down at my messy desk. I mean... His hands then venture further down. If you wanted to, you could just get right to the interesting stuff. He gently squeezes my pecs. I guess I could. Write what you know, you know. Yeah, you could write the interesting stuff first and then fill in the blanks. I guess I could do that, even if it would feel weird to start in the middle. Writing is hard. Soon Julian unwraps his hands and starts pacing around the apartment. Alright, well, I'm exhausted. Too exhausted to cook? Probably. Today might just be a takeout day. That's fine. I've been craving some Derek's. Yes. Barely an hour later, Julian and I are munching on burgers, shoestring fries, and custards. Derek's is pretty consistent, so we go there often. The food would be better if we had eaten there, since it would be fresher, but we were feeling lazy. The food is satisfactory nonetheless. As we eat, though, I notice a contemplating look on Julian's face. He's thinking about something. I know better than to intrude, though, so I just leave him in his thoughts and continue eating. But it isn't long before he speaks up. So, I have something to ask you. Oh? I perk my ears up and look at him, so he knows that I'm listening. Yeah? What's up? Well, I'm not entirely sure how to word this, but... He drifts off and looks distinctly to the window across the apartment. I set my half-eaten burger down in my curiosity. I place my head in his hands and look at the wolf in anticipation. I suppose that there's no better lead-up to this. He looks back to me. Do you want to go on a road trip? Oh? Road trip? Like, where to? I was thinking that it's been a while since I've seen my family up in Utah. Modest little town called Logan, about an hour and a half north of Salt Lake City. I'm sure that they'd want to see me after so long. Utah? Are you sure that you'd want to bring me along? Wouldn't this be a bit more, I don't know, personal? I'm sure that they would love to meet you. Are they, you know... No, they're cool. Don't worry about that. Just being safe. When would we leave? Julian swallows a pinch of well-seasoned fries before answering. I'm thinking sometime in May. I'll talk to my manager and see if we can get some time off. What do you say? I admit that I could use some time off. And driving through nature with Julian? I'd only been dating him for about 9 months, but I would say that we have a strong relationship so far. I'd love to spend some time alone with him. How could I say no? He gives a faint exhale of relief. Thanks, babe. You're the best. I know. We then return to our food, occasionally speaking up to talk about random subjects. Soon I find myself looking at the window, staring out into a world beckoning me towards an adventure. Black. Dark. A void. Nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to feel or smell or taste. Nothing to sense. I can't even feel my own body. Not a single nerve dares to be stimulated. There, in the distance, a dot, a spot of light, flickering far away. There is a light there, piercing the darkness. But it's so far away, and I can't move. How do I get there? Be careful. Day 1. Damn, it's hot. The sun beats down on us through the windshield, the air conditioner working overtime to just barely cool us off. Meanwhile, the interstate stretches on and on ahead of us. Even when we cruise at a good 60 miles per hour, it just keeps moving towards the horizon. If it weren't for the passing natural landmarks of the desert, I would feel like we were going nowhere. And then, of course, we had several bouts of traffic, with insanely long lines of semis slowing us down for minutes. At one point, I count a whole hour where we're not moving. Who knew that there was this much traffic out in the desert? Well, it's the interstate. That's just how they are. Semis gotta take their products across the entire country, and the interstates make their job easier. As we sit there, I sink further into my seat and rest my feet on the dashboard so that they're soaking in the grueling sun instead of my face. Julian's phone had died about an hour ago, and I really didn't want to sacrifice my phone battery while we were in the middle of our drive to play music. Plus, we'll need at least one phone to be alive. So unfortunately for the both of us, we're now just listening to ye old country stations that his radio managed to pick up. I would listen to them if I was a scruffy old straight guy. You really should have left your phone charging all night. I did. The phone drains easily. You sure you don't want to use yours to play something? As much as I want to blast the lady at max volume, I'm afraid that we need to preserve battery life on the one phone left alive. Fair. I can just sing. No. Julian, don't. I could play the doctor. I could... Oh, God. I sink even further into my seat, covering my ears in a futile attempt to block out his off-tune belting. God, don't get us a copyright strike. Sorry, babe. He finally relents and we fall into silence again. I consider taking my phone out so that I can ward off the boredom. I'm craving some pro-assassin. Nope, gotta save power. I peek over the dashboard. Still got infinite interstate ahead of us, an endless string of cars moving both ways at the speed of slugs. You know, I just so happen to know a road where we can move more quickly. That catches my attention, so I perk up. Oh? Yeah. Whenever my family and I would drive down to California, we would take that road. Parents called it the scenic route. I'm honestly tired, so I just don't really care what we take to get there. Alright then. You know what you're doing? Of course, we'll stop for gas and food first. Then it'll be after that. Oh, and while we get gas, we gotta get a charging cord too. Ah, yes. Can't let me do all the singing, can we? Please, God, no. He laughs and we continue inching down the infinite road. Hours later, we get back into Julian's newly refueled car, the wolf gladly plugging in the new charging cord into the dashboard. Thank the gods for this gift from the heavens. When his phone turns back on, we both breathe a sigh of relief. About time. Now we can let the lady do the singing. The first thing he does is turn on one of her songs, and indeed it blasts from the radio. Yars. We get back onto the road, bumping the lady's music for respite. Its booming industrial vibe feels like a stark contrast to the almost empty desert landscape surrounding us. The sun inches closer to the horizon, painting the barren land with a vivid orange glow. I forgot how beautiful the desert is at sunset. Yeah, Just wait until you see the road that we're driving down. I honestly forgot about that. I guess I was just tired. Oh, yeah. We getting close? Yep. Any minute now. We continue driving down the interstate, thankfully moving at a good speed. I look out the window in anticipation, watching the golden earth pass by. Here. Julian makes his way towards the next exit, and eventually we're cruising off the interstate. The road narrows down, and soon enough we're driving down a 2-lane road. I'm surprised by the contrast between this road and the interstate. While the interstate was crowded, here I don't see a single car. I look to the side and search for any signs indicating what this road is. Eventually I do see a sign pass by, rusty with chipped paint, but with the words visible enough for me to make out. Route 19? Yep, this will take us right to Logan. Wow, it's quite narrow though. Yeah, it's kind of a secret back road. Interstate goes all the way up to Alberta in Canada, and this road just barely goes into Idaho, so it kinda got shoved off to the side. Well, this road is certainly more peaceful than the interstate. Clearly got neglected by the state though, because we kept hitting potholes. I don't really notice though because I feel myself drifting off. The glowing orange desert is certainly hypnotic. Might as well close my eyes for a bit. Be careful. Xander! Suddenly, I'm wide awake. We're still on the road. Oh, fuck. How long was I out? Like 40 minutes. Oh, it's, dark? The sky is now a dark purple, a line of orange spanning the horizon to our left. We drive under a rock arch, and I wish that it was light again so that I could see it better. I yawn, my eyes still heavy despite the rest. Julian seems to notice my tiredness. Yeah, we should probably stop for the night soon. First motel that we find, we'll sleep there. That sounds good to me. I just hope that there won't be too many hicks there. Like, this is the definition of the middle of nowhere. But hey, at least we're cruising easily down a gentle slope. We pass by a bus stop that has definitely seen better days. Covered in graffiti and cracks, it's probably not even in use anymore. In the dark, I can't make out any of the words, but I can see the swastika graffitied onto the side. Yeah. We really are in hick country. After another half hour or so of driving through the middle of nowhere on the never-ending road, we see a distant light straight ahead of us. I hold my hopes for now, in case it's something else. As the light gradually gets close enough so that I can focus on it, I start to make out its features. It's a sign for a motel. Sweet. I look over to Julian. I can see fatigue in his eyes. I guess spending several hours on the road does that to you. But I also notice something else. He's stiff, hands gripping the steering wheel, eyes staring straight ahead without blinking. He also seems to be holding his breath, only letting out short, shallow exhales every now and then. You okay? He snapped out of this strange trance and looks at me. You, seem a little tense. It takes him a second to process what I just said. I'm okay. I'm just tired is all. Yeah, fair. Well, sleep is almost here. I gesture to the motel getting closer to us. Yes. After stepping out of the car, I take a minute to give myself a good, needed stretch. I think that I hear my spine pop for the first time in my life as I arch my back. How is that ass relieved? Yeah, same here. We walk over to the reception, right by a rough-looking older mouse with a distant gaze. Hi, just a single bedroom, please. The mouse looks us up and down through her dusty half-moon glasses. After a little, she reaches behind her to grab a key off the wall and hands it to Julian. Great, thanks. We hastily start walking to our room. I hear the receptionist mutter a slur that I've heard many times under her breath. Well, she seems jolly. Oh yeah, loves the gays too. Oh. I only see one other person in the parking lot on our way to the room. I glance over and see about 4 cars in the lot, including Julian's. Is this place really that out there? Here we are, room 3. He unlocks the door and we walk inside. Unsurprisingly, the room is completely dark when we open the door. I glance inside, and on the opposite side, I see a window. I can't tell if it's inside or outside, but there is a figure standing there in the dark. It's alone, so it's not Julian's or my shadow. I only see it for a second until Julian turns the lights on. And then, I just see an empty room with a queen-size bed in the middle and a desk on the opposite side. Christ, if I have an episode on this trip, I swear to God. I did bring my meds, right? Well, the lighting is a little shoddy and dim, and this room isn't the cleanest, but hey, it's only for our night. Alright then, I will, go get the suitcases. Sounds good. I respond as I drop my bag onto the side of the bed facing the door, just a little wary of the window. You all good? Yep. Julian nods as he walks out of the room, back into the warm, dry night. I stretch my arms up and give another sigh of relief. Hubba bubba. I take my shirt off, almost having to peel it off because of the sweat. Now I miss San Diego's cool ocean breeze. That really depends where you live in San Diego. I toss my shirt onto the floor, which probably isn't a good idea, and flop down onto the bed. Oh good, at least it's somewhat soft. Fuck, I could use some sleep. And yet, part of me feels restless. It could be because I never really slept well in hotels. But I can feel eyes on the back of my head. I know I was just seeing stuff, but I turn around to look at the window, just to be sure. Yep, nothing there. For good measure, I look around the room, at the corners and areas where the light doesn't quite reach, making sure that there isn't anything hiding there. Yep, I'm all alone. Psst, I'm crazy. For no particular reason, I get up and head over to the bathroom. After taking a quick piss, I lean over the sink and rinse my face. I guess my fur just feels kinda sticky. Even though I'm tired, I would rather it feel clear. The cool water feels good on my face after that long drive in the sun. Okay, how am I a coyote? I can't handle really hot environments. I almost never go outside during the summer, at least I get assaulted by the sun and swarms of bugs. Yet Julian loves the heat, and he looks like he was built for the fucking Arctic. Julian. Built. I imagine my wolf's arms bulging as he carries some suitcases, even though they're not that heavy, and he's likely just dragging them. Still, I soon find myself with my crotch pressed against the counter. Christ, I haven't jerked off for days. Should I just relieve myself here? Sure. So I drop my pants and take the time to rub one off. Soon I hear Julian come back into the room. I quicken the pace so that he doesn't have to wait too long for the bathroom. Once I'm satisfied, I slip my pants back on and clean up the mess before heading out of the bathroom. I come out to see Julian flopped face first onto the bed. He turns his head at the sound of the bathroom door opening. So tired. Yeah, same here. I then flop down onto the bed next to him. Do we have to brush our teeth and all that? I mean, hygiene, you know? Urgh. He doesn't move. I don't either. We just spend several minutes there, laying next to each other and looking into each other's eyes. Eventually, though, I do force myself to get up and dig my toiletry bag out of my backpack. Julian soon follows suit. Soon enough, with both under the covers, exhausted and ready to sleep. So, Logan tomorrow? It takes Julian a bit to answer, pretty long for an answer as simple as, yep. Fuck, I'm so tired. Who knew driving could drain so much energy? Well, hopefully this means I'll get some good sleep. As long as I ignore the bisected girl watching me from the corner of the ceiling. I'm back in that void. I've occasionally had dreams of this void since April, since the night Julian first proposed the trip to me. But now, something about it feels more vivid. Even if it's just a whole lot of nothing, it feels more like I'm actually there, drifting through nothing, my ability to move powered only by inertia. And there's the light again. In front of me, far away. But something's different about it. Every few seconds, the light flickers. It shines in front of me, and then, for an instant, it's not. Like a light bulb running out of life, or the power in your house during a major storm. I have a theory. Maybe if I could just focus really hard on that light, maybe... Then, in the silent void, I hear a distant moan. A sort of wailing that echoes in the same way a sound would in a cave. I turn my head to the side, in the direction of the sound, on the off chance that I will see something in this space of pitch black. Wait, I turn my head? I can move? Let me try something. I try to speak, but the movement and voice feel foreign to me. Why did I struggle so much to say that? Just trying to say a word as simple as hello put so much strain on my jaw and muscles. And my voice is raspy, slurring, like I'm dehydrated, or I just learned how to speak. My throat hurts and I can feel dirt caked up in the inside of my mouth. I can feel my mouth begging for nourishment. Where am I? How can I feel so much? Another wail. I once again attempt to look for the source of the sound, but there is nothing to see in this void except for the light on the death's door. It's a scream of pain, a cry for help. Who? I still cannot speak. I have no voice here. How do I... The light struggles to shine, threatening to leave me in complete darkness. Be careful. I feel something behind me. Day 2. I give a loud snort as I jolt awake. I'm awoken up even more by the sun shining directly into the room, lighting it up like a photo with the exposure turned all the way up. Well, at least no shadows can stalk me this way. Where's Julian? The bed is empty to my side and I don't see the wolf anywhere in the room. And then I hear the shower running. Look at silly old me being paranoid. I lay back down for a bit, listening peacefully to the white noise of the shower. Man, I could fall asleep just listening to the sound of the shower running. It tickles my ears and gives me comfort in a way only it can. But then soon enough, that sound stops. I guess every shower has to end eventually. Sometime later, Julian emerges from the bathroom, towel wrapped around his waist. I feel the warm moisture emanating from the bathroom alongside him. Oh, morning, babe. The sunlight refracts off the water droplets sticking to his white fur, making his body glow like it's a light source all on its own. It's an enchanting sight. I can't peel my eyes away from him. You like the view? I'm broken out of my trance by the sound of his voice. Fuck, I was staring. I don't think he minds. Oh yeah, you're glowing. He looks down and notices the sunlight bouncing off of his fur. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Well, the shower's ready for you if you need it. Oh yeah, I should probably do that. In fact, I feel dirty. Okay. And so I get up and move over to the bathroom. Even though we were only outside a few times for a few minutes yesterday, it feels like the dirt is clinging insistently to my fur. I was hoping a good shower would get that dirty feeling off of me. But even as the comforting hot water runs down my body, and I use a shampoo and body wash provided by the motel, I still feel as though something is sticking to my body. It's like an itch that I can never scratch. Soon I leave the bathroom feeling neither cleaner nor dirtier. After a bleak breakfast at the motel, we're on the road again. Time to just watch the desert landscape go by for several hours again. Speaking of the landscape, now that I can actually see them, I notice a little something about the mountains. They surround us in what looks like a circle. The land around us gradually rises towards the mountains in the distance. And there aren't any other mountains or tall hills or dunes getting in the way of those mountains views. It's like the mountains just dip down to a certain point. Are we in a crater of some kind? Nice. We drive for a while, driving by no real notable sights. This crater is surprisingly large, the mountains making the edges look close enough, but they only seem to move further away when we approach them. Actually, you know what? Since I don't have much to do, I might as well just mull over story ideas. I turn my phone on, earbuds still nestled in my ears, and turn on the soundtrack to some recent movie Julian and I loved. Environmental soundtracks like these always help me focus when I'm trying to be productive. Something about them makes me feel like I'm scoring my own story. Well, I may look like I'm staring blankly into the desert listening to music. Inside the gears and cogs in my brain are working expeditiously to figure out how I'm going to execute this thing. So the story that I'm writing is some kind of religious horror. It's about a person who devotes himself to the god of their land in turmoil so that they can become their disciple and bring salvation to their land. Except their idea of salvation is corrupt, and the more they devote themselves to this divine being, they drive themselves further away from the community that they claim to be helping. It's definitely taking a lot of inspiration from Legend of Malus Corvus, so if I get this thing published, I just hope that no one will see it as a ripoff or fanfic. Because while both stories have similar premises, they explore different themes. My story is admittedly more simple, just exploring the dangers of devoting oneself fully to a religion. Meanwhile, Malus Corvus discusses exploitation of religion for the sake of political power as just one of its themes. I also want to explore in my story the possible effects that the area's rift with supernatural activity can have on residents of the mortal realm. How would a haunted place mess with the synapses of its residents' brains? I think that it's a cool idea and I want to explore it. I just gotta figure out how that I'm going to incorporate that into the overall story. I'm excited to see the story come to life. I just actually gotta write it. I'm ripped out of my trance the instant that I see something in the corner of my eye. The only detail that I pick up is that split second was that it was a rusty orange shape of some kind. I focus my eyes on the desert, I'm beholding, looking for whatever it is that I saw. I look behind me, but I just see miles upon miles of desert. And then the disappointing reality that we are still in the middle of nowhere hits me. You good? Well, if I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere, at least it's with a man like Julian. I take out one of my earbuds and pause my music so that he knows that I'm acknowledging him. Oh, yeah, just thought that I saw something. It was nothing. Okay. We keep on driving and I keep on listening to the music, though the mood is gone. Something about that shape that I saw unsettles me, and even though I only saw it for a split second, it burns itself into my memory and vision like an afterimage. Don't be an episode, please. Some more time later and it's high noon. The sun may be above us, but I can still feel its rays piercing through the windows, making me feel like I'm inside an oven despite the air conditioner doing its absolute damnedest. I feel my stomach grumble. Oh boy, am I hungry. The motel breakfast really wasn't that good. I didn't eat very much. I hope that we find a gas station or town soon so that we can eat. Oh. Well, speak of the devil. I see several small houses ahead of us. We approach the town and I look around for a restaurant or even a sign with the town name. I glance over at Julian. But something feels off about him. He's just staring, straight ahead, seemingly unaware of his own surroundings. He's not even blinking. Jesus, this drive is really doing a number on him, isn't it? I don't mind it for now, so I just keep looking around. Eventually, I do find a sign giving the town a name. Craterville, Utah. Oh shit, we're in Utah? Sweet. Man, I could really use some food. Hey, you think that we could stop here? Find some food? My words drift away as I look back at Julian. He hasn't even budged. He just stays there, still as a statue, eyes focusing hard on the road ahead of us, hands white-knuckling the wheel. I poke him back to reality. Julian? Huh? He finally blinks and looks at me. We'll get food at a gas station. There's just one outside the crater. Okay. I think that I can wait another hour. As we drive through Craterville, I look longingly at the little diners that pass us by, wondering why Julian would want to skip this place. This town has seen better days, clearly. The buildings, wooden and brick, are decaying, leaving corpses of houses to dot the barren desert. The few people that I see walking around are above the age of 50, if I had to guess. I see very few cars on the road, and the ones that I do see are from as late as probably the 2000s. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if any young people who grew up in this pit up and left. Soon I notice a graffiti message on a large, old brick wall. When the devil returns to Craterville, the souls of the damned shall drag him away and seal him in the deepest pits of hell. The hell? Julian looks over to my side and sees the message for a second before passing. Did something happen here or something? Something about the devil returning? He shrugs. I don't know. Could be religious nuts. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna look this place up. Julian flinches at that. You sure about that? Yeah. Why? What's the problem? Well, He stammers for a bit. Maybe something bad happened here. And that would just be kind of, insensitive, you know? I mean, I can see where he's coming from. But I don't even know what happened here, and the need to sate my curiosity. Against the wolf's wishes, I turned my phone on and typed Craterville, Utah into a web browser. And there's no internet. So I'm just left looking at a blank gray screen as my phone fails to pull up the results. Maybe later. So I just resorted back to my music that I thankfully downloaded onto my phone. And then I go back to watching the desert go by, trying my best to keep my patience as I wait for our next stop. Some more time later, I see that we're approaching the end of the crater. Phew, about time. The road slants upwards as we approach the mountains. By the time that we reach the edge, I see a natural arch graciously arching over the road. I can see the red and orange layers of millennia worth of sediment building up to create this wonder. Wow. Pretty, ain't it? Yeah, very. I pull my phone out and go to the camera. I aim the phone ahead of us, trying to get a good angle of the arch. When we get close enough, I take several pictures. Alright, hopefully one of those is good. I look down at my phone to look through the photos as we drive underneath the arch. They all look clear enough to me, at least when I look at them for like 2 seconds. After concluding that the photos that I took were good enough, I turn my focus back to the desert just so that I can lose focus again. Soon the road starts slanting down again. Huh. Hopefully that gas station Julian mentioned is coming up soon. But all I see is more road and more desert. Hey, didn't you say that there was a gas station right outside the crater? Julian looks confused, like he was just dropped into an unfamiliar location. Either that or a distortion of a familiar location. I did. Guess it's a little later. It's been years since I've been down here, so... I'm more disappointed in a response than I really should be. But I hope that we find a gas station soon. I need some food. And a bathroom. For now, all I can do is wait. I spy with my little eye a desert road. And more desert and road. And more desert and road. Just desert and road for miles upon miles upon miles. After what feels like hours, I finally see something on the side of the road that even slightly resembles a building. But I'm only disappointed to see that it's a dilapidated bus stop. Looking closer, I see the wall of the bus stop covered in graffiti. Among the graffiti is a large swastika and the words, "Oliver Crow is a..." referring very tastefully to the man who was our president until this January. Whoever put that there must be a very lovely person, and I think that they would be happy to know that our current president would gladly wear that fucking symbol of hatred on a red armband. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he took away the stars on the US flag and put the swastika in the blue rectangle, that or his own name. God, I fucking hate these people. I really shouldn't be thinking too hard on this. Yeah, whoever put that godforsaken symbol there is clearly a brain-dead moron. But I've never met them. And even if I did, they would probably shout slurs at me and shoot me before I could even attempt to be civil with them. The bus stop is far behind us, so I might as well let it go. No point in getting all mopey over a Nazi symbol on a random bus stop in the middle of nowhere. It might just be my impatience for not having food or a bathroom combined with my disappointment and anticipation of there possibly being a rest stop in this barren wasteland. And seeing that symbol as a reminder that I live in a country currently run by people who want to exterminate people like me and Julian simply because of who we're attracted to. Fun. Okay, it's been too long. My bladder needs a break. Julian, pull over, I need a piss. What? Oh, shit. Thankfully, he picked up on my urgency right away and stops the car. He doesn't bother getting off the road because we're the only ones on here. I practically fall out of the car and stumble for a bit before unzipping my fly. Normally, I hate the idea of pissing outside or pissing standing up. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos who prefers to piss sitting down. But now I just don't care. This is a true emergency. I whip my dick out and just let loose. I feel imminent relief as pressure is relieved from my groin. I hear another stream near me. I guess Julian had to go too. Now that my bladder is finally relieved, I am now able to focus on my surroundings. It's oddly cool for a desert in the middle of May. Is this normal? Another thing, the mountains are distant, and they surround us in what looks like a circle. Are we in another crater? Is there another one right next to the one that we were just in? Does that just happen? I turn to Julian, who's just finished his own stream. Yo, are we in another crater? It looks like it. I don't remember there being 2 craters though. Also, your dick is out. Huh? Oh, I guess it is. I correct that little lapse in memory. That's kind of weird. Are you sure that you know this road? Yeah, I do. I guess it's just been years. You sure you know what you're doing? Yes, I do. Okay, sorry, I was just wondering. No need to snap. Julian gives a heavy sigh, seemingly collecting himself. I take the time to breathe a little too. I hate raising my voice. No, sorry. This was a mistake. We shouldn't have done this trip. Whoa, hey now, don't say that. I walk up to him and place my hands on his shoulders, making sure that he faces me. We're gonna see your family, right? You said that they're cool? And besides, we're already in Utah, right? So Logan's gotta be just a few more hours away. Oh, and we both took a week off of work to take this trip, so we really shouldn't waste it now, should we? The wolf looks away, avoiding eye contact with me. There's a kind of deep humming echoing throughout the desert. I feel it rumbling in my chest. It's almost like the earth itself is singing, or like a choir of basses singing the lowest possible note that they could hit. Julian hesitates. Yeah, I guess so. Great. So, shall we? He smiles at me. Sure, babe. He leans in for a kiss. Sorry for snapping. It's no biggie. He's such a softie. It's honestly kind of cute. We head back to the car and continue our drive through the infinite desert. More time later and something finally appears in front of us. A building. Oh good, signs of civilization. But when we get close enough to pass it, I realize that it's just a motel. I may be hungry, but I wouldn't even touch motel food again after this morning. But hey, hopefully that means that we're getting close to another town. And soon enough, there it is. Perhaps we'll actually get some food here. As the buildings get closer, I see that they're mostly run down. Some of these houses on the outskirts have probably been abandoned for years. That seems to be the norm with this desert. I look around for a sign giving the town a name. And soon I spot a faded stone sign. Craterville, Utah? What the? I look to Julian as if he will have any answers. He's shaking. He holds the wheel so tightly that I swear that it's going to crack. And he stares ahead, unblinking, eyes so wide that they look like they're about to pop out. Julian? Huh? What? He's just barely pulled out of his trance at the sound of my voice. He tries his best to put on a calm facade, but it's as cracked as the buildings here. Did we get turned around somehow? I look back and I see the wall with the same graffiti message. When the devil returns to Craterville, the souls of the damned shall drag him away and seal him in the deepest pits of hell. I don't know. Apparently we did. I don't know what's happening. Did we get lost somehow? On this road? That literally goes in only 2 directions, forward and backward? This is frying my brain. The hunger is not helping. Okay, you know what? Let's just, stop here and get some food and figure... No, we'll get food on the next gas station. I'm surprised and a little frightened by his sudden yelling. Jesus fuck, man, what is your problem? I don't want to eat here. Why? There's plenty of restaurants here. Have you seen the place? I'm not good with old people, especially when there are no younger people around. And besides, I saw wanted posters for a serial killer. Clearly this place isn't safe. He's trying and failing to catch his breath. He better get his shit together or else he's gonna veer off the side of the road. Okay, but we know nothing about the killer. For all we know that they could have been dead for 30 years, you know? Also, there's fundamentalists here. That graffiti looked fresh. Now that I think about it, that purple the words were sprayed with did look fairly vibrant. Faded, but not from the decades of exposure to the desert. Okay, but even still, I don't think that we're gonna run into that fucking Raven man here, okay? So just, calm the fuck down and let's get some food. No, we'll eat at the next gas station that we see. End of discussion. I laugh in both astonishment and disbelief. Oh my god, you're gonna fucking starve because you're afraid of a few hicks? Xander, please. I barely have time to think as Julian swerves off to the side. I only see the person standing in front of us for a split second. But in that split second, I see what looks like pinkish gray ropes dangling from their stomach. Julian swerves so far off course that we actually drive off the road. Oh fuck! The road was bumpy enough with all the potholes, but now with all the exposed rock? We get jumbled up and down, and hear scraping against the bottom of the car as Julian tries to get back on the road. Shit, goddammit, fuck! Meanwhile, I look back in an attempt to find that person again. But I just see an empty desert. My insides are going to feel like a pile of scrambled up puzzle pieces after this. And then it suddenly feels like we're gliding. Or at least on a surface less bumpy than the literal desert floor. Julian stops the car immediately after we're back on the road. We take a minute to collect our breaths and regain equilibrium. As soon as I feel that I've processed enough, I stumble out of the car. Xander! I step out into the unnaturally cool desert and I look around me in every direction. I look for anybody, anything even resembling a person. But there's nothing. Just miles upon miles of empty desert. Xander! I snap back to reality and realize Julian has just stepped out as well. What the fuck was that? Some dumbass stepped out onto the road, but forget that. Are you okay? Yeah, but where are they? I gesture to the large empty crater around us. Julian looks around, seemingly looking for the person too. You saw it? I look at him. A person in the road? Yeah, I saw them. All of a sudden, Julian's demeanor completely changes. He freezes up and looks at me wide-eyed. I can see his fur standing on end. Is he scared of me? Julian? Huh? Are you okay? He sighs and looks down. Yeah, sorry. I guess I'm just on edge. I mean, yeah, so am I. I'm also starving. Is your car okay? He paces around his car looking at the tires and underneath. It looks okay. Wow, all that and we didn't get a flat? Or puncture something? Now that's a fucking miracle. Okay, good. So how about this? Let's just, keep driving, and at the first sign of food we stop, no matter what, okay? A flash of frustration flickers on Julian's face before withering away into resignation. He looks down at the dehydrated earth again. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay, let's go. I walk back to the car, patting his shoulder along the way, in an effort to let him know that I still care and that I'm still with him. I look around the basin again, desperately searching for any semblance of a person. Just so that I can tell myself that I'm not having an episode. My stomach feels like a void. I feel it grumbling like a volcano ready to erupt. The hunger soon spreads to my entire body, and I feel the gas build up in my chest to create a pain that makes me feel like I'm on the verge of a heart attack. And here we are, driving for hours through the desert. We're finally in the portion of the crater where the road slants upwards, beckoning us towards the mountains. The sun is lower in the sky, inching ever closer to the horizon, painting the desert a more vibrant orange. And yet this desert still feels dead. As we approach the mountains, I see another natural arch arcing over the road. Another gateway. I hope this portal will take us out of this godforsaken alien wasteland, void of any life. It was probably just a few minutes, but it feels like years have passed when we finally pass under the arch. But, just like last time, there's no gas station, no sign of life and therefore no sign of food. In fact, the road begins to slant downwards again, and I immediately recognize a circle of mountains sloping down. I groan in frustration. What the fuck is happening? Julian doesn't respond, staying silent and staring at the road, but I can tell that he's having his own breakdown inside. Are we in another fucking crater? Julian doesn't answer again. Instead, he just stomps on the gas pedal. Soon we're speeding down the road and I see even more desert whip by. I don't care if we're breaking any road laws. There aren't any cops here who can stop us, or anybody that can stop us. I just don't bother focusing on the desert anymore, and I just don't care what happens as long as I get food in my stomach. The sky darkens, replacing oranges with blues and deep purples, the mountains casting their shadows over this hellscape of a crater. Are we in hell? Soon enough, I see a familiar structure pass by, even if for a few seconds. A dilapidated bus stop with a graffiti swastika and a homophobic message. A motel. And soon enough, a town. Because of the speed that we're going, we get there quickly. Fuck. Craterville, Utah. When the devil returns to Craterville, the spirits of the damned shall drag him away and seal him in the deepest pits of hell. Julian thankfully slows down when we're in the town proper, but he still seems to be in a rush to get out. Julian, let's stop and eat here. We're moving, Pat. You promised. He looks at me with fury I can't even begin to describe. I can see the flames in his eyes. I squirm with how much my torso is grumbling. At this point, I feel like my stomach has had enough of waiting and is now eating away at me from the inside to sate its hunger. I look at Julian and I make sure that he knows that I'm begging. Please. After seconds of damning silence, the wolf grumbles. Fine. Finally, he breaks away from Route 19 and finds a fast food restaurant on the outskirts of town. I don't bother looking at the name of the place as I rush inside. I stumble into the diner and make a beeline to the counter where a sable in their mid-40s stands. Hey, what can I... Food. The poor probably underpaid employee is surprised by my interruption. Okay. The menu's right there. The sable points above her to the menu. I don't even skim over it. I just read the first thing that my eyes fall upon. The bacon cheeseburger combo. And, turkey sandwich. Alright, and that'll be, $15.98. Okay, cool. I don't care. I quickly pay for the food, giving the sable a ludicrous tip as an apology for this. Oh, damn. Thanks for the tip. Your food will be out as soon as possible. We practically fall into the closest seat that we can find. I wait as patiently as I possibly can for the food, rocking back and forth on the bench. The restaurant is lit up in a dirty green by the light bulbs that occasionally flicker. The sable comes back surprisingly quickly, carrying a tray with our rushed orders. Here you go. Eat up, please. Thank you. She glances at Julian for a second before heading back to the counter. I don't even wait to start eating my burger. Oh my god. Food. Finally. Oh, how I missed you, sweet, sweet food. It feels like heaven as I swallow and the food moves down my esophagus and dives into my stomach. At first I eat quickly for the sake of getting food in me, but about halfway through the burger I slow down to really savor it. The burger itself is fine. The ingredients clearly aren't fresh. But I shouldn't complain. I finally have food to eat. The fries are soft, but I actually like them that way. As soon as it feels like I'm actually being driven by my own accord instead of hunger, I stand up and move to the soft drink machine. I just get water since my own flask had gone empty hours ago. I gulp down several cups of water, the cold fluid making me feel like I'm being revived. Finally, I feel normal now. I can actually process stuff. I head back over to Julian, who's still working on his turkey sandwich. Feeling better? Oh, you have no idea. He chuckles. Yeah. Sorry about, everything. Hey, forget all that. We got food, right? Yeah, I guess we did. I sit back down and think through what we had experienced for the past days. Then something occurs to me. Look, I don't know what the hell is going on, but clearly we seem to be in, a loop of some kind? What are you talking about? I mean, how else would you explain us passing through Craterville multiple times? In the same direction, mind you. Unless there happen to be multiple Cratervilles. And all of them happen to have the same message on the same wall. Julian mulls over my words. I find them hard to believe myself. I mean, I guess that's the only explanation that we can think of, even if it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know how we're looping through this crater or why, but we gotta get out of here somehow. The wolf stays silent, deep in thought. Look, Xander. I'm sorry. This was my mistake. This detour, I mean. We should have just gone on the interstate. Hey, it's fine. So, how about we try leaving? The wolf perks up. Huh? You think that we can just do that? To be honest, I really don't know. I don't think that there's any harm in trying though, and I will pray that we don't loop back. Okay, so how about we just try to get back on the interstate, and if we make it, we'll just move on and sleep at the first town that we see? Julian's confidence has slowly returned. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Alright, good. I gotta pee. In my starvation, I didn't realize how much I needed to go. So I walk over to the bathroom, my steps finally controlled. The bathroom is so dark for no reason. A single light bulb over the sink hangs on for dear life amongst the others that have already burnt out. This bathroom is brown all around in a way that makes me feel like I'm underground. I'll just do what I gotta do and then get out. So I'll make my way to the closest stall and do my business, though not without cleaning off the toilet seat first, because apparently some grown men aren't potty trained. Other than the constant buzzing of the dying light bulb, it's completely silent in this bathroom. Amidst the buzzing, I can barely hear a high frequency that claws on my brain, making it throb rhythmically like it has its own heartbeat. It irritates me so much that it almost makes me want to tear my own fur off my scalp and carve a hole in my skull and scoop the parasite off my brain. The almost silence is broken by my own scoff of amused disbelief. Why do I have such morbid thoughts sometimes? Who said that? I hear something from the stall next to me. A faint chuckle, almost mimicking my own. Dear God, is there someone in the other stall? But both stalls were open. I didn't hear anyone come in. I hear it again. I lean down trying to peek under the stall. Is someone fucking with me? I know that I heard that. Who's there? No response, just more chuckling, like whoever is in that stall is mocking me. And then the chuckle becomes something else. A sort of croaking noise. A sort of sporadic creaking, like when you hold your throat closed and only let tiny pockets of air escape. Like someone who's had their ability to breathe taken away. I feel something cold and wet drop against my fur. Water. Is the ceiling leaking or something? I look above me. A chill runs through me. I see someone peeking over the stall down at me. But something's wrong with them. Their face is bloated, so deformed that I can't even identify their species. Their fur is matted to their skin, dripping a sickly water down my stall. I can't see their eyes, as they're buried underneath a pool of darkness, but I can feel their stare piercing me. Their unseen eyes burn themselves into my mind like an afterimage. And they're croaking. It makes my ears pound. A frequency too high for my comfort combines with one too low, creating a horrific harmony that makes my brain pound against my skull, like it's having its own heart attack. I force myself back into consciousness, and I practically throw myself out of the stall. I back up against the wall and look at the stalls. Empty. The waterlock thing is gone. Despite that, their unseen eyes burn in my memory, and my head still pounds from the deathly symphony of ultrasound and infrasound. And yet, I'm all alone in the bathroom of a fast food restaurant. I laugh at myself and rub my temples, trying to soothe the intense pain. God, I'm going insane. And then quiet myself to make sure that nothing mocks me again. Good. The light buzzing is still bothering me, though. As quickly as I can, I pull my pants up, flush the toilet because I still have standards, and wash my hands before leaving this cursed bathroom behind. Okay, now that we have our spirits collected, it's time to get back on the road. You ready? Yep, let's get back to the interstate. We get into the car and make our way back to Route 19. When we get back to the route, Julian turns and goes to the opposite direction, the way from which we had come. Here goes nothing. It's good to see him with his confidence restored, He had looked anxious the entire time that we were in this crater. The desert landscape zooms by as we speed down the route. Soon Craterville is behind, and sometime later the motel, then the bus stop. And then we start sloping up, the arch in view. I lean forward in anticipation, hoping that this will take us out of the crater. After the longest 10 minutes of my life, we pass under the arch. And then we slope down again. Another iteration of the crater. Julian realizes what's happening and sighs in frustration. Then an idea comes to me. How many times did we loop? We're trapped here. No, fuck that. Listen, I'm trying to come up with answers. How many times did we loop? Julian thinks for a moment, suppressing his frustration for now. 3 times, I think. I dig through my own memory. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, it might have been 3 times. So maybe if we go through the crater 2 more times, it'll take us back? Julian stays silent for a bit. I pray that you're right. And then he keeps driving towards an uncertainty. He speeds down the road, breaking so many road safety laws that it actually increases my anxiety. I have to stay calm though. He's counting on me. A long time later we reach the arch. And we loop again. 1 more time, please. Julian starts to breathe more heavily, clearly trying to keep his emotions in check. We speed down the crater yet again. I don't even believe in God, but if this works and we get out of here, I just might consider converting. In what feels like years, we pass the empty Craterville again, and then the motel with its sparse parking lot, and then the completely abandoned bus stop. And then we make it to the mountains again. As we approach the arch, I clasp my hands together and murmur to nothing in particular. Please, 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 please. After what feels like an eternity, we make it to the arch. I feel time slow down as we pass under the arch, hoping for a miracle. A miracle that never happens. Because we start sloping down, down, down again, down into another repetition of this purgatorial crater. I feel my stomach sink and every ounce of faith and hope leave my body. I feel a type of dread crawling in the back of my mind, creeping its way into the back of my eyes, like I'm aware of imminent horrible events. I haven't felt this way since it was announced that the fascists had won the presidential election last year. That was the one of the only times where I had utterly screamed, a type of pure agony coming from a living person feeling betrayed by the world around them. I had faith that the world would see the problem and properly dispose of it, but then it decided that pain and suffering was the better route. I feel that agony coming back as we speed down the slope of this infinite crater. We're trapped here. No. No, 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 no. What can I even say? We'll think of something. But even I know that's an empty promise. Please, just let us out. Let us out, let us out, let us out, let us out, let us out! Then the wolf stomps on the gas pedal and the car accelerates faster and faster and faster. I'm pinned against the passenger seat. I can't even see the desert as the car whips violently down the road at speeds that I would never dare to meet. I can feel the loss of control as the car swerves several times, taking piss-poor attempts to stay in the lane. Meanwhile, Julian keeps babbling, gripping the car and shoving his foot uncomfortably into the gas pedal. I feel myself tear up, as I feel my own self-control fading away. Julian, stop! Let us out, 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 let us out! Slow down, Julian, please! Let us out, 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 let us out. Julian, please stop! We're going to crash! But he doesn't stop. He just keeps going as fast as he can. He's clawing at prison walls, concrete walls, several feet thick. He's just scraping his nails by trying to escape, and he's not even leaving a single mark on the prison wall. Now he's speeding us towards what feels like our doom. And then I hear a few sputters. The car starts slowing down. Julian finally goes silent as he tries to figure out what's happening. And as we both realize what's happened, it feels like a weight has been dropped on us. A shocked Julian stomps on the gas repeatedly, trying to make the car speed up. No, 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 please. But every time he stomps, the car slows more. And then, it stops moving altogether. The engine stops, leaving us drowning in silence heavier than an anchor 4 times our size. I'm too scared to speak. But I force a timid sound to escape my throat. Julian? And then the silence is broken by a chuckle. At first, I worried that the waterlogged person had come back to torment me again, but then I look over and realize that it's coming from my wolf. Soft chuckles coming from his shattered heart. Those chuckles then rise to a mixture of laughter and sobbings at the cruel reality of our situation. And then, in the blur, the wolf kicks the door open and throws himself onto the desert. Julian? A horrific scream fills the desert air. I find myself paralyzed to my seat as I watch the wolf shriek out into the void. What do you want from me? What the fuck do you want from me, you fucking piece of shit crater son of a bitch, son of Satan, son of fucking bitch? Why? I'm stuck. I can only watch. I can only watch as Julian lets loose a rage and sorrow so primal that it almost makes him look like a wild animal. I haven't seen a person act like this since Xander. No. No. No, please, no. What did you do? No. No, 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 no. Get over here, you fucking cocksucker. No. Please get out of my head. You could have saved her. She was trying to kill me. So what? You put... Stop it. She was right. There is something wrong with you. I fall out of the car myself and stumble into the desert. Where do you think you're going? Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. You're not real. 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 Please. Just stay away. hear a moaning behind me. One that isn't in my head. It's a moan that harmonizes with the ethereal rumbling of the crater. And then I realize who it's coming from. I turn around and approach the wolf who's laying on the ground in a fetal position, back twitching with every hiccup that escapes him. I squat down next to him, and, so tenderly as I can, reach my hand over to his back. I gently stroke his back, and his sorrowful hiccuping is replaced with a heavy breathing as he looks up at me. Julian? His expression intensifies, and even in the night I see fire in his eyes. Out of nowhere, I feel a sharp pain in my chest. I stumble away from the wolf, bringing my hands to my cheek and feeling hot liquid pour down my face. But I barely have time to process what just happened as the wolf throws me to the ground. My head hits the dirt hard, and I'm surprised that I don't get knocked out. Then the wolf pins me to the ground. I look up at him. And I see someone completely different. His smile stretches all the way across his face, exposing every single one of his sharp teeth. His eyes, they burn with rage so true. It's a look that could burn forests. Saliva drips from his muzzle as he snarls. Jul... Look at you, completely defenseless. Well, guess what, fag? I'm in the exact same spot. This is not Julian. I'm also trapped in this hell here, and there's no escape for either of us fags. So why don't I kill you right here, right now, and then I'll kill myself so both of our sufferings will end. This is not my boyfriend. Or will we end up in a realm just like this one when we die? Yeah, just a never-ending road that takes us back to the same spot. How about that, huh? Who is this man? How about that? Tears burn my eyes as I helplessly watch the wild animal above me. Julian? Julian, please. What is it, fag? The man who was just letting out a primal wail is now snarling in delight above me. Julian, please, what happened to you? Huh? And then he stops snarling, and he seems to inspect me closer. I see the fire fade from his eyes, his horrid smile and face muscles easing as he seems to recognize the man sobbing beneath him. Xander? And then his grip on my arms loosens. That's when I push him off of me, escaping his grasp and backing away as quickly as I can. The wolf is shocked by my response, and he tries to reach out to me. Xander, Get away from me! I can't control my sobs as I stare at him. The wolf seems confused by my sudden fear of him. And then he looks down and sees blood, my blood, dripping from the claws of his right hand. The appalled look on his face tells me that he's realized what he's done. Aside from the occasional night terrors, I never heard him scream like that. And in the 9 months that I've known him, he had never lashed out like that. Yet, my impression that the man that I dated was a gentle soul, an impression that I had building for 9 months, shatters in an instant. And he's realized that. Now he's reaching out to me, trying to pick up the scattered pieces of that impression. Xander, please, All that screaming and snarling put so much strain on his throat that his voice was broken, cracked. I'm sorry. Xander, But every time that he takes a step towards me, I back away several inches. I feel my blood dripping through my hands as I keep holding the spot on my face where he slashed at me. I'm so sorry. I don't know what got over me. I don't know, He stumbles over his words as he attempts to form an apology. Then he holds his head in his hands, sighing in deep regret. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry for hurting you. Is he being genuine? Do I trust him after that? He squats down, meeting me eye to eye. Listen, I have never lost myself like that before. I don't know what came over me, but I promise I will never hurt you like that again. I just stare at him with no idea of what to say to myself. If you never want to see me again after this, I completely understand. His voice breaks again and he looks away. I see his eyes shine with more tears. But can I at least get you out of here? Huh? Let's just try to get out of here. And then I'll take you home. And then, if you think that it will be better for you, you'll never see me again. Xander, despite everything, I love you. And I just want what's best for you. So please, at least just let me take you home. What home? Charleston, where I had a family that hated me? Or San Diego, where I barely made enough money to live? Or any other strange land where I feel like I don't belong? Where the hell is home? The wolf then reaches his hand out to me. He doesn't try to touch me, instead just offering me his palm. He tries to hold up his trademark sweet smile in an attempt to soothe me, but now it feels so foreign. Should I trust him, even after that attack? Should I stay with him until this is over? Should I stay with him through thick and thin? What do I do? So I know what happens if you leave him. But for the sake of the story, we're gonna stay with him. I can't leave him. He's my ticket out of this place. And, I mean, we all have meltdowns sometimes, don't we? Please. Okay. I timidly reach out to him, and our hands soon meet. He gently closes his hand around mine. The hand that had attacked me now holds my own so tenderly. And then he pulls me gently towards him. And soon I find myself wrapped in his arms, feeling the warmth of his body fighting the cold night. He hugs me gently, as if squeezing any harder will cause me to crack. I'm so sorry. No, Xander, I'm sorry. You didn't do anything. This is all my fault. I'm sorry for hurting you and scaring you. I promise that I will never hurt you again. Was it really just an outburst? Yeah, sure it was. I believe him. But will he get me out of here? I want to go home. Okay, yes, of course, hon. We'll go home. Together. We stay there for several minutes, holding each other and crying with each other, Julian uttering quiet apologies. And then he stands up. He looks down the road and I follow his gaze. I see a speckle of lights in the distance. It's probably not too far from us. The motel. It's not too far from here. I know we're trying to get out of here, but I think that we should rest. I am admittedly exhausted. Today was a lot, even if it was just us driving down the same road for several hours. Sleep will do me good, if I can manage to get any. Okay, let's go. With our senses of normalcy somewhat salvaged, we begin our trek to the distant motel. So that's where I'm going to be leaving it for today. There's plenty more, so, stick around for the ending. In another video. Anyway, so, a lot of interesting things are happening. Whatever it is that's happening is a loop, and it doesn't seem to want to let them out for whatever reason. Whatever it is affecting the boyfriend, Julian. But why exactly? He seems to, at the very least, know the area, because, he used to travel with his family there. And why exactly is it that he does not want to stop? Why does he just want to, blow through? He's the one that basically said, hey, I know this shortcut, but we're not going to stop here. We're going to go right through it. But yeah, so it's affecting him and it's driving him crazy apparently. Because he did attack the main character whose name that I'm blanking on. I want to call him Xander? Xavier. I think it's Xavier. Oh no, I don't remember. But yeah, so it's very bad. The main character seems to be suffering from schizophrenia. They are seeing a bisected girl, and ever so often you'll get flashes of words being displayed. But they may be too fast for you to see, so unless you go back to that specific section, and then on YouTube you click the little gear icon and then you tell it to play back slower on that section, so you'll be able to see it, because I'm only able to see what it says when I'm editing it. But that's that's on purpose, that you only see it that fast. But it's basically something speaking to the main character, and it's antagonistic for the most part. Also wondering, what is that light that they're seeing when they're dreaming? What are your thoughts? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play the Curious Case of Route 19, or perhaps stay up to date with any project that they may or may not be working on next, hintity hint hint, you'll see more of that later on at the end of the next part. Then you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which will have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game. If you would like to, I don't think they have any form of support, but they do have a Blue Sky, so if you want to go on Blue Sky and then follow them and then, talk to them or something, I don't know. You can do so by going down to the other link in the description. This was for the May Wolf competition for 2025. So, for them to have made this for a competition, and I think they did win Best Horror. Horror, not horror. This is really cool. So, yeah. Anyways, what else? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you liked it, then tell them. Leave a comment on their itch.io page, or tell them on Blue Sky or something. I don't know. If you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so by becoming a channel member, which you should see the link underneath the video if you're on desktop or mobile, or it will be in the description. You do get to see these videos earlier, usually, and it does support me. Or, you can support through Ko-fi, or Throne, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.